There is a persistent rumor that occasionally surfaces on secondary markets and gear forums, a mythical, unreleased beige version of the legendary Veilance Nomin backpack. Look at these buyer photos. The bag has a perfectly smooth, domed front profile, void of exterior pockets, and a signature black zipper track. Flip it around and you see wide, ergonomically curved straps and deeply recessed adjusters. Physically, this looks identical to a Generation 2 Nomin. But here is the hard reality. Arc'teryx never manufactured the Nomin backpack for retail in tan, beige, khaki, or the seasonal color called Dune. This receipt gives us the actual answer. The bag in the photos is the Anodic backpack, officially listed in the color light Gnosis. Mistaking the new Anodic for the discontinued Nomin highlights the core problem for anyone getting into Veilance right now. You have to decide whether to brave the secondary market to hunt down the original $800 Grail or buy the modern, widely available successor. The original Veilance Nomin built its reputation by doing almost nothing. It completely erased external branding and stripped away visible mesh pockets and retailed for $800. It became a highly sought-after status symbol for urban commuters simply by being visually silent. That structural silence required a material called AC2 laminate. Arc'teryx used a densely woven nylon face, coated it in layers of urethane, and thermal taped the seams, giving the bag a rigid, waterproof shell that holds its shape even when completely empty. Because that specific urethane coating process is highly restrictive, the official retail production run over the bag's 10-year lifespan was locked strictly to two options, a monolithic black and a brutalist concrete-like gray called ash. That high retail price created a massive, unregulated replica market. Counterfeit factories regularly churn out versions using cheaper, limp nylons, often inventing fantasy colorways like navy or olive green that Arc'teryx never actually designed. So if you want that specific, uninterrupted Nomin aesthetic, you have to navigate a secondary market flooded with fakes, where a single wrong color assumption could cost you hundreds of dollars. This matrix compares the exact specifications of the legendary Nomin V2 against its modern replacement, the Anodic. The Nomin uses advanced tension stitching to pull its 18-liter frame into a soft, aerodynamic dome. It curves to perfectly hug the wearer's back. But that curvature creates immediate practical friction. Try to pack a rigid camera cube or a thick rectangular textbook, and you are left with awkward, unusable dead space around the margins of the back. The Anodic fixes this geometry by entirely abandoning the pedal shape. It opts for a boxy, structured silhouette with a flatter bottom. That wider base and expanded 20.5-liter internal footprint means you can stack rectangular tech pouches, bulky headphones, and large laptops squarely on top of one another without fighting the fabric. The wearable art aesthetic that made the Nomin famous actively works against you when you need to transport bulky modern gear. Moving past overall volume, the biggest daily difference between these two bags is how you actually retrieve your most valuable item, your laptop. Looking at the matrix again, the Nomin uses a side access zipper. The designers did this deliberately to keep the top visual line of the backpack completely unbroken and smooth. In practice, side entry requires you to lay the bag flat or contort it. If the backpack is standing upright on a coffee shop floor or crammed vertically under an airplane seat in front of you, pulling a 16-inch laptop out of the side is a massive hassle. Arc'teryx listened to years of user complaints and gave the Anodic a dedicated top-loading padded sleeve. Choosing the Nomin requires you to sacrifice rapid, frictionless access in tight spaces, all to maintain that one uninterrupted, perfect curve. The final strict dividing line between these two models comes down to material chemistry and color. The AC2 fabric relies on an exterior urethane kiss coating. As that coating rubs against brick walls or airplane seats, it physically degrades with daily friction, leaving behind highly visible, chalky silver scuff marks. This comparison shows why Veilance locked the Nomin strictly to black and ash. Those two brutalist shades absorb and mask that ugly, chalky patina far better than bright or complex dyes. If they had attempted to dye that rigid urethane in seasonal colors, like tan or olive green, the inevitable scuffs would result in heavily contrasting, jarring wear patches across the face of an $800 bag. The Anodic's updated construction allowed the designers to relax those rules, finally introducing earth tones like Pilot Gray and the beige-green light Gnosis. Because of how the material ages over time, an authentic earth tone Nomin physically cannot exist. If you want a beige Veilance pack, you are buying an Anodic. This scorecard breaks down the decision. Neither bag is superior. They serve completely different routines. On the left is the purist. If your carry is flat folders and a laptop, and you value that alien aesthetic, brave the secondary market for a Nomin. If you go that route, try to track down the ash colorway. The lighter gray tones age significantly more gracefully and hide surface scratches far better than the monolithic black models. On the right is the modern professional. If you carry structured tech cubes, need rapid top-loading access in meetings, and want the peace of mind of an official retail warranty, the Anodic is your required tool. You just have to decide if you want to wear a piece of architectural art or need a highly optimized tool for your commute. That brings us right back to the beige bag that started this whole evaluation. The golden rule of Veilance authentication is absolute. Official retail Nomin backpacks only exist in black and ash. If you are scrolling through an auction site and see a listing claiming to sell a Nomin in dune, navy, or khaki, walk away immediately. It is a guaranteed scam. If you see a legitimate, beautifully constructed beige Veilance backpack in the wild, you are looking at the new Anodic. Armed with the facts about material chemistry and bag geometry, you can easily spot the fakes, skip the expensive mistakes, and choose the exact silhouette that actually fits your daily life.